Welcome back, everybody. If you're new, my name's Nicholas, and this is Investing Against the Grain. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal spot. I'm not in front of the window. And the reason is I'm in the middle of a tech conference that lasts pretty much for the entire week. And so I just want to hop on real quick. I want to remain on time and punctual with the schedule. So as you all know, I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I sprinkle in other videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, depending on what's going on with the world. But I want to hop on and just talk a little bit about what's happening today, especially when it comes to Tesla stock. So a couple things to hit on. First of all, looks like we have a decent day. I was a little nervous. I start to see things run up a little bit. Let me actually share my screen real quick with you guys so we can see what this actually looks like. So I'm going to share my screen now. All right. So here we can see everything. So you can kind of see we're at $665 a share, which is crazy how, now we sit here and we see 665 is like, oh, that's a relief, right? I remember just the other day, I was texting my fiance and my best friend saying, wow, $666. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. But if we zoom out 1 year, let's take a look at this just real quick. So if we zoom out 1 year, just look at this. It's just been hideous right here. So I'm just going to draw, and again, I'm doing all this impromptu, so but I just want to draw a quick line here. So I would say that this is pretty much what we're looking at. In reality, you probably want to come out here, but we're kind of looking something like this as far as the trend. But let's take a look at something like this. Okay, so here's essentially what we're looking at. So if we zoom in here, see what we're looking at. So we can we're almost hitting that level where you could consider this a little bit of a breakout. So I think we have to get up to about past 679, 680, and then maybe we have a chance to do a little bit of recovery, right? The good thing is that, this is not falling a lot lower. It's, I thought we were going to go lower when we broke this floor here at 654. That kind of scared me, but I think maybe, just maybe, things can start getting back to normal, start looking a little better. I'm not saying we're going to recover everything today or tomorrow or next week, but hopefully we can start recovering. Even here you can see we're starting to sell off a little bit into the close. But let's move away from this because I don't want to jinx anything. But all jokes aside, what happened today? So I think a lot of this is definitely a relief rally, especially for Tesla. We've needed this. It's been honestly just been 5%, 10%, 8%, just negative over and over every single day. And in my opinion, we have sold off way beyond where we should be. Now, I was nervous today because the Fed meeting minutes were going to come out from early May. And you have to remember that this meeting was, I think, May 4th. And so those meeting minutes have completely missed a lot of the things that are relevant today, right? Today, May 25th, looks a lot different than what we did May 4th. For example, we have signs of people starting to, cut back on spending. We have signs of companies not wanting to hire as much, potential layoffs. We see Amazon reducing the amount of warehouses they're building. Shanghai lockdowns are taking longer to come out of those lockdowns. We just see all these signs, around of a potential recession. We see signs of just slowing down of demand and just in general what we see. We see what's happening with housing, right? We see, a lot of people aren't buying houses. We see interest rates. We see home mortgage refinances coming down, which that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But these are things that we did not know back in May 4th. And so these meeting minutes talking about these 50 basis point continuing, I think that was actually bullish for the market, seeing that the Fed is actually taking this seriously and that they're going to continue to try and, take inflation seriously. So again, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going on with Ukraine and Russia? Who knows what's going on with this new monkeypox? Who knows if we're going to have another COVID outbreak? No one knows any of this stuff, right? So what do we do here? Well, all I keep doing is I keep focusing on what I know is coming up, all right? We still have a potential stock split. Whether it happens or not at this point, who knows? But it is on the books for a potential stock split. We do know we have AI day number 2 coming up. We know that Q2 earnings won't be that great, right? But there's a chance that analysts and just in general Wall Street have already expected this. And so all of that's kind of been baked into the system already. And that might be a big part of why we've sold off so hard compared to the broader market, right? And again, take that with context, because when I say with the broader market, you look at some companies like Snapchat and they were down 50% in one day. Tesla's just down 50% from their all-time highs, but it is my estimation that if we didn't have these China shutdowns, these lockdowns, that maybe we'd only be down 30%, maybe 40%. So I do think that has a factor in it. But anyways, so Q2, I think if expectations and analysts actually come out with estimates and expectations correctly based on what the numbers are, Tesla has a chance to beat on that, right? If Tesla delivers better than expected deliveries, even though we were expecting a miss, that could be very bullish for Tesla stock. Now, on top of that, once we get past this quarter, once we get past, I guess, this first 6 months of the year, and we get into the next 2 quarters, I think that's where things are really going to start to shine for Tesla. All right, we'll have Giga Shanghai back to full ramp. We'll have Giga Shanghai expanding. We'll have Austin, hopefully more ramped than what it is. Berlin will be more ramped than what it is. Obviously, Fremont's doing its thing. So we'll have a lot of good stuff with regards to that. And again, I mentioned the stock split. Then we have the shareholder meeting. Then we have Tesla AI Day number 2. We have any improvements we'll see with FSD beta, right? So there is still some good news out there. And then in general, we can start to see inflation come down towards the back half of the year, right? And if we start seeing inflation come down, then that could also be a boost to the stock market, not just Tesla, but the stock market as a whole. So I'm trying to be pretty optimistic with this. It's hard. I get it. We're all there. But at the same time, this is where you really get tested as an investor, okay? I understand if you want to talk about your feelings, how you're doing, because, I always hear people say that when you invest, you need to remove all emotion. And I agree, 100% you need to remove emotion. However, on paper, that makes sense. In reality, that's very difficult, especially if you are investing in anything other than stocks. If you're in stocks, honestly, go to sleep. Forget about all this. Ignore it, especially if you're in Tesla. Again, none of this financial advice. This is my opinion. This is how I'd be talking to myself. But if you're in options, right, or if you have other things going on, other debts, whatever, right, that's when you really want to start making sure that you have a game plan. So with that said, all this will pass. And the point is, as an investor, right, we can't just live based on what we should do on paper because emotions are real. We're so human. So the best thing you can do is understand your emotions, understand why you're feeling a certain way. Talk it out with people. Talk it out with your wife or your husband, or your significant other, your parents, your family member, whoever you can. Talk it out. A friend, right? Talk it out with them. Explain how you're feeling, and I'm sure they're feeling the same way, especially if they're in the same world where they invest as well. And that can help you kind of gain some kind of grounding and just get that toxicity out of your system. I think that's what's really important. I think it's important not to pretend like we have no emotion when it comes to the stock market and it doesn't affect us or anything, right? You're going to let that toxicness build inside of you. So I highly recommend you talk to someone, even if you just talk to yourself out loud, try to explain out loud the rationale behind what you're doing, what you aren't doing, what you'll do if this happens or if that happens, and just get it out there. Have a plan, get any of that negative energy out of you, and I think you will be better in the long run. Now, again, as you all know, I still think Tesla is going to be the biggest company in the world. And interestingly enough, and this might also be one of the reasons why Tesla is having a little bit of a stronger performance than we see the Nasdaq. Again, normally Tesla is a beta 2 stocks. In other words, whatever the Nasdaq is, Tesla trades about 2x, whatever that changes for the day. So example, if the Nasdaq's up 2%, normally Tesla's 4%. If it's down 2%, normally it's down negative 4%. So my point in saying this is that Tesla right now is definitely, outpacing the Nasdaq. Tesla's up about 6% right now, and the Nasdaq's not up 3%. So what's going on? I think part of what's going on is there was an interesting tweet today. So somebody reiterated, Omar Arkazi, he retweeted or rephrased what Elon said a while ago, saying everybody keeps blaming Elon for the stock market crash, blaming Twitter, his politics, or whatever antics, a joke, etc. FSD, doesn't matter. People are blaming Elon for the stock decline. However, keep in mind, Elon also is the one that said that we're going to be going to recession and that the stock price was too high. Now, I know that stock price is too high is, people think it had to do with the stock split and all that. Very, very well may have been. But he did talk about a recession coming sooner than later. All right. Now, Elon responded to that. And Elon said, yes, I did say that. However, Elon also feels, and I'll put it up somewhere here. I don't have it off the top of my head verbatim, and I can't just pull it real quickly just because my setup's not quite ready for that. But he also said that he thinks that Tesla can, and I think he said probably will be the largest market cap value company, the biggest company in the world. So keep that in mind. So yes, Tesla is down. Elon did say that a recession was coming. He kind of predicted all of this, right? Not what we wanted not the prediction we want Elon to have, right? Obviously, but he was right. He did call it literally almost, dead nuts accurate. Who knows if we're actually in a recession yet, like a technical recession, but his prediction was right. Okay, so here we see all this pain right now, and it's exactly what he called. But he's also calling for the fact that Tesla can be the largest company in the world. All right, so that at this point, today I think it would be like a $3 trillion company. I still think that by the end of the decade, we'll be at $10+ trillion company with Tesla, assuming a lot of things go the right way, right? Execution has to happen, but that's how I feel. And so with that said, yes, right now we have this turbulence, but here's the other thing to think about and kind of the bright side. Although we have this turbulence right now, what that really means is that in a few months, in 6 months, in a year from now, after we've gotten out of this turbulence, well, now we've put that behind us. So now how many years do we have ahead of nice, clear sailing? And, sometimes you need to get these things out of the way so you can get into that next bull run, right? I think the last bull run was over a decade long. So I think, I don't know, you have to find something to be optimistic about. And I talk about this a lot. Whether it's a cup of coffee in the morning, whether it's, the future of Tesla, whether it's waking up next to your loved one, whether it's your kids, you got to find something every single day to latch on to and make sure that you appreciate not just today, but what you have, okay? It's not like the stock market isn't everything, right? Sometimes even I forget this, but we have to remember what we have every single day and be thankful for things we have. At the end of the day, if you have your health, right? If you have a fridge full of food, if you have a roof over your head, if you have loved ones who support you, at the end of the day, that matters more than any of this. And I keep hitting my mic. I don't know why. I'm not used to this setup right now. All right. Well, we're going to leave it there. I have to get back to my tech conference. I hope you guys found some value in this video. I know this is more of a therapy session today, but hey, sometimes we need that. All right, well, we're going to leave it there. Do me a favor. If you like this content, if you want to share this therapy session with more people, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell. I love you all. Peace.